This is All India Radio. In the program Spotlight, now we bring you year-end series, special discussion on Swachh Bharat mission. The participants are Akshay Raut, former DG, Special Project, OSD, Swachh Bharat mission, and J. Balaji, journalist.
Mr. Rawat, Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, that is Clean India campaign, has achieved a tremendous success with other countries envying India since it was launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi on October 2, 2014. What do you think is the main reason for this big achievement?
Swachh Bharat mission is truly one of the iconic programs and missions in recent history in India. And what is the achievement? Why it is so special? The clues to achievement, as you asked, Mr. Balaji, is because of 4 P's. Let me put it as succinctly as I can. First P is political leadership. No one in this country before, no Prime Minister, President, or any Prime Minister, President in any country, on a national address from the ramparts of Red Fort in India's case, could speak about sanitation and toilets as loudly as Mr. Modi did in 2014. And after that, continuously, for the 5 years, 2014 to 19 in the first phase, and now also, even 2 years later, for the 7 years, he has been the communicator in chief. He has led it from the front. So that's big. That's political leadership. Then public finance. In phase 1 of Swachh Bharat mission, only rural, 1.5 lakh crore rupees were given. Sanitation, historically in India, even in other countries which are more developed, has never got so much money to be spent on a public cause. And tribute to Government of India, the Minister of Finance, of course the Prime Minister leadership, that's so much money. Now in the phase 2, more money has come, equally and more. So it has been financially looked after. That is where the incentive money comes, that's where the capacity building comes, that's where the IEC comes. All these efforts required money, and money was given. Third is partnership. It was made everyone's business. Whether any government department, whether railways, the cultural heritage, the education, social justice and empowerment, any department, health prominently, all became partners. Not only that, the corporate, the civil society, the media, all were made partners. Everyone contributed something in cash, kind or efforts or energy, in collective contribution. That was partnership with all international development partners came big way to join in, which was made everyone's business. Then the last one and the most important one is people's participation. It was not a government program. It became a people's program. People's participation was so intense and so compulsive that there was momentum created which resulted in what you think is big achievement of Swachh Bharat mission.
So policies that address solid waste management have been in place for a long time. The most significant push to improve waste management came with the launch of the Swachh Bharat mission in October 2014. How successful this mission is in making behavioral changes aspect among the people?
Now, that's a very important question. So far as solid waste is concerned, it's largely an urban phenomenon. In rural areas, the problem is access to safe toilet system, which has been achieved with the achievement of open defecation free India about 2 years back. But now on the solid waste side, some efforts already started with the commencement of Swachh Bharat mission in 2014. But it has, because of the priority that was given largely to the toilet waste proliferation in terms of toilet construction and usage, the solid waste management had not gone that priority attention, I would say. But there was still star rating of the seepage. There was still segregation of waste, which has reached almost 97% in all India level. Only little bit of it is left. So there has been movement. But now, with the launch of the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban 2.0 by the Honorable Prime Minister on October 1st, of this year, we have gone another distance. The goal of this second phase of Swachh Bharat Mission Urban is to achieve a garbage-free India, which is an aggregate of garbage-free cities. So, in the coming days, one is going to see the neutralization of all these legacy dump sites, the complete segregation of the waste to reuse or wealth, as it is said, waste to wealth, waste is best. That conversion happening with engagement of technology. And in 26, the target is to have a completely garbage-free, which is basically solid waste-free, urban landscape in India. So that is the importance given to the solid waste management in the present phase of Swachh Bharat mission.
Ravajji, while people today are aware about Swachh Bharat mission, electronic waste or e-waste is still an unfamiliar term for the majority of the people. The e-waste is one of the fastest growing waste streams. How this mission tackles the e-waste challenge?
I think e-waste is largely organizational and institutional. A lot of e-waste come from identified centers. That is one advantage of it. And it largely falls under the Swachh Bharat mission efforts of the urban side. Having said that, this would require engagement of some technology, and the discussion and deliberations on this side is very much on. And the raising the capacity and the sensitiveness of the organizations for this, that is one of the main areas in dealing with e-waste. Because many times e-waste is from specialized organizations. So these organizations are now being imparted the knowledge, and they are themselves getting sensitized how to deal with very toxic e-waste you have just mentioned. But that's a part of much larger problem which we face in terms of waste handling in urban area or overall in the country.
India's cleanest city for the fifth time in a row, and Chhattisgarh is cleanest state for the third time, as per the Survekshan 2021 results announced by the Union Housing and Urban Affairs Ministry. So can you please elaborate the main highlights of Swachh Survekshan 2021 survey?
The Swachh Survekshan is one unique experiment which is world's largest assessment of urban sanitation of this type. And more cities are becoming partners to it. And for the last about 6 years, it has been giving good results in the manner that this has encouraged cities and towns to go for the next level of achievement on the sanitation ladder. This is unique. This is a performance action-based award and reward system. This competition has methods inbuilt, and most of it has gone online now, in which for every step that a urban local body or a state takes, gets credit, and that credit makes it to jump to higher level. It's a good thing that Indore, there are some cities and towns who have got a sense of pride, and it is like every citizen of the city is becoming a proud owner of this title, that the cleanest city, as you said, Indore, and you mentioned about Chhattisgarh. But other towns and cities are getting competitive on this, and very soon, my understanding and what I understand from my knowledge is that very soon we are going to find more and more cities and towns climbing the ladder in the Swachh Survekshan module, which is very scientific and highly technology-based and online. And the overall gainer will be Swachh Bharat mission. And if you know, Swachh Survekshan started on the urban sector, but it also has its rural counterpart in which villages are also ranked. And there are multiple ways in which either villages on the Swachh Survekshan rural side or on the urban side by Swachh Survekshan urban, they are rated. And one important component of that is public participation. There is a method by which people are encouraged to give their views on the cleanliness efforts which are going on, besides other very evidence-based inputs which come in. So it's a very comprehensive method, and this method is not only logically satisfying, it is also very inspirational, and it also encourages the cities and towns to move forward.
Mr. Rawat, what is the achievement of Swachh Bharat mission so far to improve the lives of sanitation workers?
The sanitation workers played a lead role in making our lives healthy, clean and secure to a good extent. That's why they have been referred by the top leadership as frontline workers and as Safai Mitras and the best friends. And recently, in a matter of 48 hours, almost all sanitation workers in towns and cities were personally felicitated by Swachh Bharat mission, considering the importance of it. And for the same reason, there is a Safai Mitra Suraksha Yojana, by which the life and the way of services that the sanitation workers provide, those have been upgraded by using science and technology. They are being given new gears, they are being given new equipment, so that they're completely safe. Not anymore, there is a phrase which has developed from manhole to machine hole. So technology's help is being taken big time to make sure that our sanitation workers, lakhs of them, lead a much secure and dignified life. Not only that, their terms and conditions of work and their social recognition within the society has definitely gone up quite a bit. There has been some telltale gestures from top political leadership, like washing their feet, mixing with them, sitting down with them. So this has given them a new lease of social dignity.
May I ask you to elaborate more to our listeners about the rupees 1.41 lakh crore phase 2 of the Swachh Bharat mission launched by our Prime Minister on October 2 this year. What is the target set for Swachh Bharat mission 2?
Well, one of the main targets is to have a garbage-free India, as I told, aggregate of all garbage-free cities and towns by 2026 in 5 years. Besides, it also aspires to have all the grey water that comes out from the houses or other parts of the community, they should flow into any water source, whether a lake or a river or nearby pool, only after those are fully treated. Non-treated with any type of pathogen in the water should not flow into a water body from where others use water in any form, drinking or potable. So basically, secure water system in which it is clean and doesn't harm the community. And even before that, to have a completely waste-free country in the urban landscape, also in the rural landscape. And then one thing just to add, so overall, it has also been conjoined with the Amrit program, which will share part of the responsibility in terms of providing water security. Beyond this, of course, these are expressed in phases like ODF Plus and ODF Plus Plus, and in terms of star rating 1, 2, 1, 3, and 5. But we should not forget one thing, that the sanitation heritage which has already been created, that is 60 lakh toilets and several lakhs of public toilets in the urban sector and 110 million toilets in the rural sector. These have to be sustained in terms of maintenance and usage. People have to keep using and maintaining it, whether it is water, repair, and consistent use all the time, every time. So otherwise, we had certain reports recently, NFSS 5 and all, in which there has been some issues of concern about the usage of the sanitation facilities which have been created at a huge cost and with a lot of effort. So sustainability is something to which the Swachh Bharat Mission managers, the government, and the people in general, the whole people, cannot close our eyes to. Eternal vigilance is the price of liberty. All the time, one has to see that the sanitation infrastructure that has been created is maintained, used, and people's behavior remains cemented for all time to come.
Sir, could you give more information about the role of brand ambassadors, students, government employees, NGOs, corporates in this unique Swachh Bharat mission launched by the Government of India?
Brand ambassadors are among the influencers. As I told you that the Prime Minister remains the communicator-in-chief, I think perhaps the biggest influence, whether in urban or rural areas. I think he gave the clarion call and he has been time and again reminding. As we thought we are passed through the COVID-19 and the health has become the most important, and there are a lot of elections happening, political issues emerging. There is a lot of restructuring of other types in both urban and rural life. We thought for a moment, some of us had the concern that perhaps Swachh Bharat, the Clean India concept, is taking a bit of a backseat, a bit of a neglect. But then, lo and behold, the Prime Minister comes, whether in Kashi or elsewhere at Mayor's Conference or doing something else, or in his own Mann Ki Baat, he says, he has not forgot. He would like to remind everyone that Swachh Bharat is still a necessity, and between generations, people have to remember and take the flame forward. That's why the money has been given. That's why still there is so much of work happening, and you just mentioned 2.0. So in that system, the brand ambassadors, whether they are from movies, sport, or other corridors of life, they are supposed to have some influence in people's mind, because a lot of things about Swachhata is in mind. A toilet is basically constructed in mind. Only a few pieces of brick and stone are rolled on the ground. So if someone has to influence the mind, it has to be the influencers in the society, which includes iconic personalities as well, whether from faith, Bollywood, or sports. That is why their participation, whether it's film actors like Amitabh Bachchan, Akshay Kumar, or several female actors, or sports personalities like Sachin Tendulkar, etc., this cannot be undermined. So this has to be given due credence, and it has worked. But even the local level leaders like a Sarpanch or a district collector, and the demonstration effect, if people like this, whoever are the influencers, even religious teachers and preachers, if we do something, make our own hand dirty, get into the pick up the shit, and if we also put a brick to construct a toilet, like Prime Minister has done himself, so then it has a demonstration effect, and people take it up as a habit. People get closer to it, that sanitation and toilet are out from the closet, they're out in the public domain. So that's a big help, and that's one of the ways in which communication moves forward.
Sir, thank you very much for giving in-depth information to our listeners on the Swachh Bharat mission introduced by our Prime Minister.
Thank you very much.
You were listening to Year-End Series special discussion on Swachh Bharat Mission. The participants were Akshay Raut, former DG, Special Project, OSD Swachh Bharat Mission, and J. Balaji, journalist. This program was produced and presented by the News Services Division of All India Radio. You can listen to it on our mobile app, News on AIR. This program is also available on our YouTube channel, News on AIR Official. You may email opinion about this program at airnsdtalks@gmail.com.